well met to the Meister's realm. It is high time I had another update. It is high time I had another update. It has been almost 2 months since I did my one on January 1st, so here we go. Welcome to Meister's realm. Glad you are here. It is just 2.5 weeks until Renaissance Fair season starts in Oklahoma. Are you getting excited? I am. I am so excited. My wife has a cousin who has a 3-year-old child, and when he was real small, when he would get excited around new people, he would sit and he'd just shake by himself for a few minutes. It was hilarious. I am getting that way at times, thinking, oh good, winter is nearly over. Of late, the weather has said, winter is over. I hope it stays nice, not in the upper 70s or 80s for much longer. It was nice to get the plants blooming, but that is a little too warm for garbing. I do not like that. So, back in the 60s and 70s through March would be perfect. Get us all adapted to the warm weather before the April fairs arrive. So, a couple of birthdays ago, I asked my wife for a Trapper Keeper notebook like I used to have in the 80s, and I would take to school. I had one then, but I did not have stickers all over it. However, she got me one for my birthday, and I bought stickers. Oh my, did I buy stickers. My favorite one, they're all over. There's mostly 80s and 90s stickers. A-Team, Axel Foley, the Gold Bugs. But my favorite one, maybe this one. I'd rather be at the Renaissance Fair. Huzzah! And I got those all online. So, last fall, when I saw some tapestries hanging off the back of some booths at the Oklahoma City Renaissance and Scottish Festival at the OKC Fairgrounds, I thought I would love to have a tapestry to put behind me so people would not have to see the other place where I'd put up boards and things hanging up behind me, maps and such. It was a little more authentic. So this time I believe this is Bodiam Castle on this tapestry. I had one of a forest with a stream running through it back on my January 1st live event. And I initially went out and looked at some of the shopping websites on the intrawebs and had very little luck finding what I wanted to see. So I went to the same place where I got all of yon stickers, and they had almost any picture you wanted. Several pictures of the same thing. Several pictures of Bodiam Castle, other castles I scoured through to see which one would look the best, that I thought, in my opinion. And the place where I went was on the interwebs. It is called redbubble.com. Red like the color red, bubble like blowing bubbles.com. Their website is the best for stickers. They make t-shirts. They can put decals on cups, mugs, mayhaps not spoons, not that small, but it's wonderful tapestries and many, many more things. So if you're looking for something for your house, your booth, your garage, work, Ren-related, castles, they have dragons, they have fairies, I believe, forests, night scenes, a lovely crescent moon, that's quite almost a crescent, redbubble.com. I'm not getting endorsed by Redbubble. I'm just sharing the wealth of the knowledge. So, also this year, I mentioned before that I will not be setting up my booth at the Queensferry Renaissance Festival, nor at Tulsa's Celtic Rising. Some days it is too cold to set up a booth and be stationary and not get my blood circulating, and too cold to get out in the wind sometimes. So this year, I will be carrying around a scroll holder strapped over my shoulder, and I will have dozens, I hope I'll go through them all, but to start out the day, dozens of my flyers in this scroll holder. So if you see me, someone dressed as an archer, a little patch of gray or or gray. If I do not have my hat on, if I'm dressed in a Roman tunic, come up to see me and ask for a flyer. Of course, you can ask anything about the fair where you would see me at, or other events that you may be planning, or that you've been to before, you're planning to attend for the first time. I will do my best to answer your questions. And if not, I can research and send you a message sometime after I see you at the event. So I ordered a scroll holder. This is it. I got it the other day. Let me make sure I can get it in the picture here. I ordered this from Ren Gypsy, R-E-N, like Renaissance, and Gypsy, like a wandering person across Europe. Ren Gypsy, they're on Facebook, and there's a lovely little hole there. I can get my scrolls and stuff them in there, and carry it over my shoulder. There are no buckles on this, so it does look period. It's got a nice strap here. I can carry it around and disperse wonderful information on different events in and around Oklahoma. And of course, all my flyers have my website on them, so you can find information on fairs all across the continent. Renaissance, medieval, Viking, Celtic, fairy, Irish. So many festivals. There are over 200, make sure I get this right, over 250 Renaissance type events, and over 150 Scottish and Celtic type events across this wonderful continent. I hope you can get out. And if you find my website, if you're going on vacation this year somewhere, if you're going on a business trip, you can look on my website and say, is there a Renaissance Fair, Celtic, Scottish festival within an hour or two of where I'm going? Mayhaps Craig Meister has one listed, and I can visit that while I'm on my trip. I've done that a few times when I've gone on training outside of Oklahoma and visited some fairs. So I hope you can see me, ask for a flyer this year, and we can discuss the Renaissance fairs. That's all. Very good. I am tapestry. I covered that. All right. The aforementioned festival in 2.5 weeks is the Queensferry Renaissance Festival. Huzzah! I have the pin. Which side is it on? I get all talked here. Right there, Queensferry Renaissance. Oh, just give it a little close up. Queensferry. It will be the 16th and 17th of March. So come up and celebrate for St. Patrick's Day and get your Celtic jig on. Enjoy the wonderful people there that make that event happen. The wonderful, also the patrons that patronize the event, that come in and visit. Come enjoy that wonderful place. It is on the west side of Veneta, and you can find their address on their Book of Faces page, as well as queensferryrenfest.com. Huzzah! Let me see you, those people who've been putting that on since 2019. Aye, the year of our Lord 2019. So, I hope to see you there. I will be wandering around there all day, both days. Weather permitting, if it's not snowing or hailing, that would be awful. So, if it does rain, if it rains hard, I can get in my car for a while, get in a tent, then come back, go eat, mayhaps, come back. I don't know. The next event after that of note is not really a Renaissance festival, but it is kind of tied to some. So a total solar eclipse is coming to many parts of the United States and in southeast Canada on Monday, April 8th. Aye, total solar eclipse. It will come as close to Tulsa as far southeast Oklahoma, and mayhaps Fort Smith, Arkansas. It is coming up from San Antonio. I think will it be over Dallas? It will be mayhaps over Dallas, then southeast Oklahoma, kicking northeastward off to the northeast after that. Monday, April 8th. So some Renaissance Fair sites will have their gates open that day. For instance, the Narnia Faire in Kilgore, Texas. I do not know if they'll have performers, But you can come inside of the fairgrounds. They will have food trucks or other food vendors and experience Renaissance Fair. It will get totally dark for a few minutes. It'll get pretty dim, totally dark. I've heard that is amazing. Birds go back to their nests. It does cool off a bit, even if it is not totally dark. I remember the last partial eclipse we had in Tulsa in 2017. It cooled off about 5 or 10 degrees, and that was in August, before the sun came fully back out. And also the Heavener Runestone Park, not a festival, but the Heavener Runestone Park will have an eclipse festival that day. You can go to Heavener and go to the park if you wish, be up on the hill, depending on how many people go. I do not know if it may be too crowded to even go up the hill, but you could mayhaps see, I do not know if you could see like a shadow coming across the ground, but you can see for 10s and 20 miles up on top of the hill at Heavener. Mayhaps you will see it get totally dark and then go over and see it brighten back up off in the distance. I would love to go see that. I do know that people will flock from all over the region to go see these events. So I do not know what the road conditions would be like, if the traffic was going to be terrible in the area where they have the eclipse in this part of the country. I can understand up towards New York, Chicago, mayhaps Indianapolis, if it goes there. I can see the crowds really congesting the roads there. Mayhaps not in Oklahoma. So good luck if you try to see the eclipse. For those of you that live in the Tulsa metropolitan area, if you want to see information on the eclipse that is coming, and the one that was last October, it was cloudy that day, so Tulsa did not get much of an effect from that. The Jinx Public Schools, they have a planetarium, and anyone can attend the planetarium. You do not have to be a Jinx High School student. You do not have to live in Jinx, Oklahoma. They have a show on the eclipses and many other wonderful things about space. I will post a link to the Jinx Planetarium in my notes, both on the Book of Faces and later when I post this video on the YouTube. So you can go find out the schedule events. I believe there are 2 shows on the eclipses coming in March, mayhaps 3, and there are different days of the week. So I love going to that wonderful place. It is the best one in 3 states, in my opinion. The director there, Dan Zielinski, he is such a space nerd. He is a space nerd like I'm a Renaissance Fair nerd, and I believe like Ren Fair Angel is a Renaissance nerd. He makes these the best. Sometimes, if the show ends early enough, this is more in the winter and the fall, when we're on standard time. If the weather is clear outside after the show, he will guide people out onto the roof where he has telescopes set up, and you can look at the stars, the planets, the moon if it is out. It is an amazing time. No extra charge for any of that. I went last month and got to look at the Pleiades star cluster through an 8-inch telescope, and it just took my breath away. You can see just barely a few of them. If you look up, it's taking a line off from Orion's belt. Oh, look this way. Taking a line off to the right from Orion's belt. It's a little fuzzy. I have some binoculars, low-powered binoculars, and I can see, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 of this Pleiades star. And through that 8-inch telescope, I could see 40 or 50. Look the Pleiades or Subaru. The Subaru car company, they are, that is the Japanese version word for Pleiades. Wonderful bunch of blue stars, about 440 light years from Earth. Gorgeous. Anyway, back to Renaissance. Pardon me. So, back to the eclipse. If you have heard of the story or the movie by Mark Twain called A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, it's about a person like the Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, where he hit his head and he wound up back in medieval times. This time traveler hit his head and woke up in King Arthur's court, and for some reason they were going to kill him. But he knew about an eclipse that was coming. that day. Somehow he figured out it was that day. So he said, if you kill me, I'm going to make the sun disappear. So the eclipse started and they freaked out. And they said, all right, release him, release him. So that's the first thing I thought about when I was thinking about going to an event or inside the gates somewhere. Very well. There's a new Renaissance festival coming to north central Oklahoma, to the town of Blackwell. It is not far south of the Kansas state line, just a little bit east, that way is east, yeah, of I-35. It is called the Gym, I hope I pronounced this right, Gym of the Chikaskia Renaissance Festival. And Chikaskia is either that area or a river, a small river that runs through there. I've been in contact with the lady organizing the event, and it looks like she has organized other outdoor events because she knows a lot of people. She has gone out and gotten, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 performers. Let's see, Jousters, the Regalia Bird Show, and Anini singers from Oklahoma City, and she's looking at more people to bring in. The Jousters are the Knights of Canterbury from Oklahoma City, and she's looking for food trucks and vendors. She has gone out and contacted schools around her, and she'll be taking flyers to the schools, perhaps taking a group that will dress up and tell the children about the event. She has also taken information up to Arkansas City, Hawk City, where they used to have the Cowley County Renfest, to let people at the college know and in town that the event is coming. She has posted on several Facebook group pages, and she's getting some feedback there. And she's going to talk to, I believe it was a radio station, a television station. I believe it's a radio station, and to get the word out that way. As I said in my video last summer about planning ahead for Ren Fair, contacting me is good. I will post your website, your Facebook page if you have an event coming. But people that do not know me will not see it from me. If you want to get the word out to non-Rennies, you need to do what she has done. Contact radio stations, television stations. If you have the funds, get a billboard. You see all over Oklahoma billboards for an event coming this spring. They have budget, but that is the best way to get people when they're driving down the road. That do not get on Facebook, do not get on Instagram, because Facebook alone will not get your crowds through the gates. You must make a physical presence to get your name out. This lady in Nikki Bonds is going to put magnets on sides of the car, I believe, or signs up around town telling the people in Blackwell, come to our festival. So it is Saturday only. This is the first year. April 13th in Blackwell. Gym of the Chikaskia, Chikaskia Renaissance Festival. I intend to be there, not with bells on, but I will be there with my scroll and bow and arrows. Looks like a wonderful event. I hope to see many of you there. And you can get details on their event page on the Book of Faces. I believe I will be doing an interview with her on an upcoming Meister's Realm Live between now and the 13th of April. And any vendors, that'll be the week after Norman and the week before Great Plains Renfest in Wichita. So, if you have excess stuff that you did not get rid of at Norman, or if you want a certain group of items that you sell that did not sell well at Norman, you do not know if they will sell well at Great Plains or elsewhere this spring, try this new fair out. There are a lot of benefits to being a vendor at a brand new festival. Some, I'm not saying this will happen there, some get preferred treatment in the following years. Place where you've set up your tent, or people will ask, well, who came to your fair last year? You can say, well, we had this vendor, and they plan to come back. You can plan to find them again the next year. So vendors, trying out new festivals if you do not already have a big money-making event going on that weekend, or if you have enough people and supplies to split off and send a small tent, it pays off in the long run. Greg Wallander said he was at some of the very first Renaissance Festival down at Muskogee, and a lot of people are saying, why would I set up in Muskogee down there? There's nothing going on down there. And now look at it. First year events, very important. In second year and third year. Help them win. Help them make a profit and keep coming back. Next event I'm going to focus on is the Narnia Faire. Huzzah! That will happen in Fordland, Missouri, which is just southeast of Springfield. And this is on April 19th and 20th. Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th. They are looking for vendors as well. Pardon me. You can find them on the Book of Faces or at the Narnia Faire with an E on the end .com. And I hope to make it to that event as well. I went to the Narnia Faire last fall in Fayetteville. Had a wonderful time. Very nice theme. There's still a lot of Plain Jane Renaissance Festival things going on. So I hope to see you there, vendors. What else is going on that weekend? The 19th and 20th is the weekend of Great Plains Renfest. But if you do not want to drive and set up in Wichita, where it seems to me it is always really windy or it always rains. I'm unsure about the weather, how much it would be different in Springfield. It would not be as windy because there are hills in Missouri. So, and probably there are more trees around this site they will have it in Springfield. But also look for the Narnia Faire again in Fayetteville this fall. I do not have confirmed dates on that yet, but I shall get them. Well, have you all bought sunscreen for the new season? I have found, as I am fair-skinned, that many times, pardon me, when I get to the first events of the season, my sunscreen expired over the winter. So check the dates. Make sure you do not burn. I hope everyone is getting out and walking a little bit if they did not do much during the cold of the winter to get in shape so you can trudge up and down the hill. That's not a trudge, not at all. They bound up and down the hills at Renaissance fairs and through the lanes and have enough energy to make it and enjoy the festival with ease and grace. And I was just thinking a while ago while I was listening to music while setting up, what music do you listen to when you're driving to a Renaissance festival? I will not comment on my own because usually I'll say something in a comment. I'll give an example of what I like and somebody will just get a thumbs up. But instead, I would like to see and read what all of you listen to. So please go into the comments sections again on the Book of Faces or on YouTube later and type in the kind of music you listen to. I myself am looking for some new Celtic music. My favorite ensemble band is retiring after this Norman Medieval Fair, the Tullamore band from Kansas City. Wonderful music. Oh my, wonderful music. And until they brought in the organ, the accordion, and drowned out all of the other instruments. So I'm open to suggestions on new Celtic bands to listen to. Of course, I still love Ezendil. Anini is good. I have one of their CDs as well. And I listen to Jesse Linda on YouTube, and I have many of his CDs. But I'm looking for new people to listen to. It does not have to be around Oklahoma. If you know somebody from the East Coast, from Florida, Arizona, Colorado, Kansas, I would go to Kansas City, Colorado, or up north, Bristol, let me know of some good bands. Perhaps they will come near here, or I can check them out on YouTube, find their website, and order some CDs. I would love that. I would be indebted greatly. Very well. This has gone on 24 minutes, so I will go ahead and close. As I said, I'll have another live event with the organizer of the gym of the Chikaskia Renfest. And mayhaps I can get a lot of my local friends together for a panel discussion. I'm leaning towards doing it on video so we do not have to worry about wind noise, cars driving by, mechanical dragons flying over. And also the weather would be good, and mayhaps they would have certain things going on one weekend or one day where I could not get them all. So look for that announcement coming very soon, because I'm running out of time before the fair starts. And many of them will be busy building and making things and selling. Well, I hope you enjoyed this excursion into Meister's realm. I would like to thank my sponsors: Twisted Thistle Trading, How Creative Creations, the Bluffwoods Renaissance Festival, which you will find on May 18th and 19th this year. They're returning in St. Joseph, Missouri, which is about an hour north of Kansas City. Also, Rotten Dave's Wooden Mugs, Gramercy, Gypsy Mercantile, makers of my new scroll holder, and the Ren Faire Angel, based out of the Oklahoma City area. It goes around, I'm sure you know her. She has the big wings made out of blue feathers. Those are quite beautiful. And she also has different sets of garb, and so does her husband, Ranger of the Wren, attends many of the festivals with her. So, Gramercy to all of you. Farewell and Godspeed to your first event. If you see me at a fair, come say hello, and we can discuss all the wonderful things that happen inside the gates. Gramercy!